5, 4, 3, 2. Hi everyone. Welcome to Ksports Sunday for March 15th. I'm Henry Frost. Let's get you caught up with the sports headlines of the day. Today is Selection Sunday for the Big Dance, the tournament, the Field of 64. It's the road to Motown. March Madness ends in Detroit. All the teams who will be in the NCAA basketball tournament get their pairings and matchups. Final Four predictions will be coming up from the YSA staff. Our first story, though, is not good news for a favorite of the Red Sox and the YSA staff, Dustin Pedroia. The reigning American League MVP pulled an abdominal muscle and won't play for Team USA anymore in the World Baseball Classic. He is back in Red Sox spring training camp at Fort Myers, but Red Sox officials are downplaying that injury. Speaking of Red Sox injuries, shortstop Julio Lugo is back in Boston after coming up lame with a knee injury. It is feared that Julio Lugo might have a torn meniscus in his knee and could be out for at least a month. That is good news for Jed Lowry, who had been in competition with Julio Lugo for the starting shortstop position. Both the Boston Celtics and the Boston Bruins are in action today. The Celtics are in Milwaukee to play the Bucks, but Milwaukee beat the Celtics 86-77. The Celtics turned the ball over a season-high 25 times in that game. Also this week, the anti-role model Charles Barkley spent some time off the golf course, out of the studio, and in jail. That's right, Sir Charles Barkley behind bars. Sounds like a bad movie. The NBA Hall of Famer who rejects his status as a role model was arrested for drunk driving in his home state of Arizona. As for real role models, well, that would be Red Sox second baseman Dustin Pedroia. Earlier this year, we talked with Dustin about his own role models, and no, they aren't professional athletes.
My parents, I learned a lot from them growing up, and they taught me how to, become a better person and to, if I wanted to achieve my goals, that I could do it. And, I'm not very big and not very strong, but, they always told me, if you want to be a Major League Baseball player, you can be a Major League Baseball player. You just got to work harder than everybody else. If you don't have the ability that some people have, then you got to outwork them. And I've done that.
Now it's time for our regular Back Talk segment. Over in our talk studios, Alex Reamer along with Dan Schulman and Nick Heiler.
Hello, I am Alex Reamer, that is Dan Schulman, and that is Nick Heiler without his denim YSA shirt.
It's all about Milton High, state basketball champs this year.
And he's wearing a hat too, backwards Kansas City Royals.
Hey, they got a shot at the Central. And then again, anybody does.
Everyone, a wide open division. But we're not talking about the AL Central today, but we are talking about baseball. The World Baseball Classic happening right now. A lot of people have issues with it. It's not good, it's not this, it's not that, bad time. Is it a good time for it? And do you like it? Are you enjoying these games?
I don't think it's I just think the World Baseball Classic is useless in my opinion.
Useless? Oh my God.
Because you don't really need it.
Don't need it.
Yeah, Puerto Rico is a good shot at it. They're in the middle of their season. Japan in their season. Venezuela in their season. They should have it at a time when all teams are either out of their season or in a neutral playing time.
Well, I can get that part, but it's just starting out. Of course, it's not going to have the same luster as maybe the World Cup, but it could in time. I mean, baseball is a worldwide sport, and it has that potential. Maybe it is the placement of the season, because maybe the main problem is people like the pitchers aren't coming out because they're afraid of getting hurt. Think if USA was able to stack in Josh Beckett, maybe Jake Peavy, CC Sabathia, they're not going to come out.
Unstoppable.
They got to get ready for spring training. So maybe if you put it at the end of the season, it would have a bit more appeal.
But then that would extend the season another month, especially for those guys in the postseason. So then you're going to have players say, I don't want to play in this, so to extend my season another month.
But say the NHL, they leave in the middle of the season for the Olympics.
Right.
So does the basketball.
But if baseball did that, the regular season wouldn't end till like the end of October. The postseason wouldn't end till the end of November, and nobody wants that.
It's no good for some countries because they aren't used to playing now. They're just starting out again or just ending.
The majority of the players are Major League Baseball players on the roster, so I'm not sure what that point is.
The countries that are just entering or in the middle of the season have a great shot at it, but the countries just starting out, no.
Like who, namely, like who? Like
U.S. The U.S. is just starting, so of course they're not going to be the number one top
So then
team.
do you want to nix the World Baseball Classic entirely, or do you think it should stay but move to a different
I don't want
time.
to nix it, but I want to move it every
Then
4
what-
years, like the World Cup.
It's not every year. The next one's not scheduled for 2013.
I mean every other year, like for. Like,
So you
I
want
mean,
more World Baseball
No, I know.
Classic.
I'm saying every 4 years, like the World Cup. Make it like the World Cup.
But the next one's 2013. That'd be 4.
Junior,
Yes.
you're getting schooled right
From
now.
now.
Schooled by the master.
Thank you.
Anytime,
No
Alex.
swirlies this time,
Anytime.
right?
Not just some noogies. Just some noogies.
All right, moving on to hockey, since we do have a proud hockey player here.
Yes, we do.
There was a fight in minor league hockey which resulted in a casualty. One player, unfortunately, passed away due to a fight. And I'm going to start off with you. You play hockey in high school. You may play in college. Is there too much fighting in a hockey of all levels at this point?
Well, personally, I am for the fighting in hockey. As like most will tell you, most people stay for the hockey. You know, they go to the games for the fights rather than leave. But I don't see it as necessarily a problem. It's like having another referee out there. It keeps the games in check. Now, I hate to see that. Like, when I heard about it, it was heartbreaking. It's in the AHL. You hate to see any player go down like that. But you can't take the fights out of the game. It's been part of the game for decades. But it can be evolved. There's more to it than just guys pounding the crap out of each other. People fail to realize that.
It's a huge tragedy. I mean, Don Sanders, he's 21 years old. He has a terrific future ahead of him, and you just don't want to see that. It was a total accident, though. It wasn't like he pushed him over and started hitting him. He fell backwards and hit his head hard on the ice. I mean, that's why fighting, it shouldn't be eliminated, but it should be lessened. I mean, you got 3 or 4 refs out on the ice, right? Mm-hmm. So they're not...
Three.
3 or 4, like 4 times for the NHL. But they can't stop a huge brawl like benches clearing. You see that more in baseball, rarely in hockey. But they will be able to stop a fight. They should stop anything before it starts. Because 4 refs, I think, can stand off 2 hockey players.
Well, sometimes you have to let them go. In a lot of sports, when things happen, say there's a cheap shot on one of your star players, you can't do anything about it. But in hockey, a guy can go out, stand up, and make sure it doesn't happen again. It's more protection, honor, and pride and courage than it is more than anything else.
There's some players out there in the NHL that just go after people looking for a fight.
Well,
Those are what I call thugs.
There are some goons out there. There was the PJ Sock, but that does have appeal, and the NHL does need some appeal.
It does. It's a thing that goes on the highlight reels, and thus people are interested in it.
But it goes beyond just pure entertainment value. It's also for protection of players. It's for pride. It's for standing up for your teammates. Nobody just goes out there with the intention of killing a guy. Nobody. Right. And there's certain rules to fighting too. Like when a guy goes down on the ice, don't hit him anymore. Right. When your helmet goes off, fight's over. But in the AHL, there are a lot more fights. People fail to realize this because these guys are trying to show the big clubs that they can make it up there. They want to be up there. But these things do happen. Hockey is a dangerous game, and it's a calculated risk every time you step out there.
We move on from hockey in a very serious subject to the NCAA tournament, March Madness, the big dance.
Did you just say the big dance?
Yes, I did say the big dance.
Sir, he said the big dance. Let's go! State champs, baby. What up? UNC, all the way this year.
UConn, dog.
This is Ben.
I won Best Dancer in middle school, actually.
Good for you.
It's great, isn't it?
The ladies must love it.
Oh. Yeah, I know. So, Final Four, outside of who you kind of wrapped off in your dances, who do you see? Who do you want to see there? Who do you think will be there? Who will go far in this tournament?
Besides UConn and UNC, really, the other 2 maybe are Pitt and Louisville. So Big East and ACC. I mean, I know that sounds like a Big East stack, and Oklahoma does have a chance to get in there. Duke also, but not all these teams can make the Final Four. You got 4 spots,
4 teams can make it,
and only the 4 best teams, the 4 teams that deserve it and play for it, can make it.
Well, you are asking the wrong dude right now. I know nothing about this last year. My bracket was a total mess. I lost $10. I had Texas beating Notre Dame in the Final Four.
What?
Like in the final. I'm terrible at this, but I've been studying. I've been studying this year. I've wrapped it. I know what I'm going this year.
Then where are you going?
I don't know who the number 1 seeds are, but I want UNC to win. I believe in Tyler Hansbrough. He's going to take them all the way this year.
So how many pools do you
Go
enter?
Heels!
How many pools do you enter? Just like bracket pools.
Well, I'm a fantasy baseball, fantasy sports addict. So I have like about 3 brackets, 3 fantasy hockey teams, 2 fantasy baseball teams, fantasy golf, and fantasy honor racing. I can't stop.
Now here's what I don't get. People enter different brackets for different pools. I don't know if you do that. I stick with the same bracket.
I
all
enter
the way.
1 bracket.
Yeah.
only one bracket, and the past 2 years I've been first and second place, so I'm all right at this.
I got $10 riding on this, and I need it.
I need
$5
to.
for me.
You don't
I don't get
understand.
paid for anything.
5 for me.
I need a
though.
job.
Yes, I need a job
don't
too.
wanna- you don't wanna
You need
waste
to get a
money.
job.
Yeah.
12. What do you
What's wrong
want?
with you kids?
Well, your
That was 12
parents pay
hours
for
working.
this.
I was walking to school up hills in the snow, there and back.
What was that when you
Wrong
took
with
your
you kids
dinosaur to
today?
school or
Yeah,
something like
you
that?
kids. I'm Alex Reamer for Dan Schulman. You know, the kid. He has it easy.
Yeah.
And Nick Heiler.
Yeah.
For Back Talk, now let's go back to Henry Frost.
Thanks, guys. And that will do it for Ksports Sunday, March 15th. Remember, if you too want to sit down with Red Sox players, Celtics, or sports writers, just email us at info@youngsportscasters.com. You can find that link right above my head on the website. Until next week, I'm Henry Frost for YSA Sports.